Hey everyone, I am Kalya Sharma, Aquatics Convener of IIT Madras. And today we have with us Maana Patel, India's fastest female backstroker. And she is here with us to share her story, her successes, her struggles, and tell us about overcoming adversities and embracing uncertainties. How are you, Mana?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so let us just start at the beginning. How did you start swimming?
Uh, Wait, your video's gone, okay. Well, it's a very funny story. Wow. So, as a kid, my appetite was very poor and I used to be very lean. So, the reason why I started swimming was my mom put me in a summer batch thinking that after playing in the water for some time, I'll come out and eat properly and become a little healthy. So, that's why that was the main motive behind going to a swim batch, summer swim batch. And her purpose was solved. I started eating properly, and then I used to enjoy playing in the water. I used to love going to the pool. So that's how I started swimming, and slowly, I started taking part in the club competition. After I learned swimming in 2008, I started taking part in the club level competitions, and I started winning them. So obviously, I enjoyed that a lot. So that's how I started.
So, like, when did you realize that this is something you would want to put your effort in and follow your dreams in?
Well, nobody from my family, even after I started winning club level competitions, nobody from my family thought that, okay, she'd take it up professionally later on. Even I didn't look at it that way. So we just thought, okay, it was just go with the flow types. In 2010, so many people advised us that why don't you give it a shot at professional training? Why don't you train for state competitions and nationals after that if she does well? So in 2010, we just thought, okay, might as well give it a shot. So that's when I changed my training center and started training under Kamlesh Nanavati for professional competition, professional training.
And then 2013, you broke all the three backstroke records in 50, 100, 50 meters backstroke, 100-meter backstroke, and 200-meter backstroke. And then you did it again in
Yeah,
2014, and then again in 2015. How did you feel?
yeah.
Like you were very young, the professional level senior nationals.
I was, to be very honest, I didn't know what it meant when I got the Indian best records because I was very new to the sport. I was very new to the competitive swimming. I was very new to all the racing and everything. Although, yeah, I swam very fast, obviously. That's why I got the records. But then I didn't understand what it meant. I didn't understand its importance. So, of course, I was very happy when I got a gold, when everybody like all the reporters came and asked me, took my interview. So that whole feeling was amazing. I was very excited, and my coach had tears in his eyes. My parents were super happy. It was brilliant. So I think 2013, 15, pretty much smooth sailing. Year after year, I used to break my record. Um, so yeah, that innocence of training was there.
Oh, so like, did you get any performance anxiety before the events?
No. So to be very honest, that's what I meant by innocence of training. I didn't really. I I told you, right, as I mentioned earlier, that I didn't know its importance. I was very new to the racing and everything. So for me, racing was a fun time when I could go and meet my friends from other states. I could, you know, race with other people. I would meet new people every time I would go for my race. So there was no anxiety as such. I was very excited to race. I used to really love it. I was like a bull. You open the
Oh,
gate and then bull goes and races. So yeah, till I was winning, I didn't have any performance anxiety. But yeah, till 2016, there was no anxiety. There was no stress before racing. Later on, things definitely changed.
yeah, we know that we went through a injury in 2017. You were diagnosed with a shoulder tear. Can't
Yeah.
imagine how you must have felt not able to do something you very clearly love. So could you let us like tell us about it? How did you cope and everything?
So the shoulder injury that I had in 2017 was the first and hopefully the last injury of my swimming career. It was very hard for me because since 2013 till 2017, my entire journey was smooth sailing. Like I would win year after the other year, and I would break my own records. So I didn't really there was no such feeling. I felt I was stagnated for a bit, because of the injury. I was out of the pool for 5 months, and doctors asked me to um, not swim at all. And I don't know how to express, but then I was kind of depressed. Okay, I was just not on medication, but I couldn't sleep. I'd stopped eating, and my weight I'd lost 6 kilos in 1 week because of no sleep and no food at all. So that whole period was very difficult to go through. I'd given up literally. I just wanted to hang my suit and retire. I didn't know how I'd come out of this injury. It was pretty tough. But later on, of course, my coaches, my sponsors, my parents, everybody believed in me and thought that they kept telling me, you're too young to retire, you're too young to quit. And this is all, it can't be smooth sailing always. There are bumpy rides and you have to go through it. And this is something that my mom told me, that if you quit now, then you'll probably quit everything that you do in future. Whatever hurdles that life throws at you, you'll not overcome those. You'll get scared and then you'll quit. So that's what my mom told me, that if you come out of this injury successfully, then you will have the strength to fight whatever difficulties, whatever hurdles that come in your way later on. So I think she was right. It was very hard to go through that period, back then, 3 years ago. But I had people who believed in me, who when I didn't believe in myself.
Yeah, so that is inspirational. So there might be people who are suffering to same thing, like not being able to do something they love, and even and especially during the crisis, a lot of people have to leave what the things that they love. So, like, do you
Yeah.
have any advice for them on the other side of getting help and overcoming this crisis situation?
Well, I think whichever athlete is facing uh, a similar kind of a problem, I think, yeah, of course, quitting seems like an only option then. But I would say, just hang in there, because this is nothing compared to all these problems, all these little injuries. Of course, they are major injuries, but still, they're nothing compared to the real problems that you face in life. And I think the most important lesson that I learned was to be patient and believe in myself. So I would just say this to all the athletes out there, that injuries are part of sports. Of course, that's the worst thing that can happen to an athlete, but you have to stay strong. You have to stay strong and uh, just come out of that period with lots of positivity and mental toughness.
Yeah, and you met Michael Phelps during this period. Yeah,
Yeah.
did you? Did you not?
Yeah, it was very exciting. It was like a dream come true. So in 2019 January, I had an opportunity to meet Michael Phelps, and I was so overwhelmed. Like, we were sitting, there was this big table, and we were sitting, and he came and he shook hands, and he's like, Michael Phelps, and I'm like, you don't have to introduce yourself. Like, the entire world knows you. But he was so humble, and he was so amazing. And I had an opportunity to ask him a lot of questions, and he patiently answered all of those. When I spoke to him about my injury period and everything, he was just smiling and listening, and he said, yeah, I've been there, done that, trust me, give it some time, and you're too young to quit right now. Like, you have lots of racing years ahead of you. So um, stay strong and don't quit. So I think that was really motivating, and it really helped me.
Yeah. So, what was your first major tournament after coming out of injury?
um, So in 2018, almost 16 months after my injury, in September, I had Senior Nationals. So that was the first race that I had after my injury, after I was kind of fit. So that's when I broke my record in 100 meters backstroke. And that's when I thought, okay, I actually have it in me. I still can do it. So that helped me regain my confidence.
And you won all the three backstrokes, right?
Yeah, yeah,
All the three backstroke events. Yeah,
yeah.
that is amazing.
Thank you.
So you have traveled to various countries for competitions, and so like, is there any difference between sports culture in India and say another country like Australia, China? So
Yeah, well, I'd gone to Australia in 2015 for training, and back then I realized that they take sports very, very seriously. I mean, they give equal importance to each and every sports there. You know, everything is, uh, there is this detailed analysis of everything that they do. You know, what the swimmer, what are the sets the swimmer does, the weights, the weight program, the gym program, the diet, and everything else. So it was very detailed and it was very, very professional. I think India is also now catching up to that level. You know, people earlier I used to feel that okay, cricket is worshipped in this country and there is nothing else apart from cricket. But now I guess the central government and other state governments have started focusing on other sports like badminton, swimming, and so many others, tennis. So yeah, like initially we lacked in infrastructure, but now I don't think we do anymore because so many new facilities are coming up, but somewhere I do feel that we lack in manpower. So
men,
yeah,
as in like
like
coaches
human
and like,
resources. Yeah,
oh gosh, okay,
we kind of we still lack human resources, I feel.
yeah. So like the government is working, we should like find a way.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
the
have
government.
collected, yeah, so I have collected some questions by sending a Google form, and I have them here with me. And for the audience, if you have any more questions, you can ask at the YouTube live chat. So one of the question a lot of people asked is about backstroke. They like a lot of people in my like in the team in the IIT Madras team. They want to know like some drills or some tips for backstroke. And I know it is difficult to explain on the video, so some tips for the
Okay, so backstroke. Okay,
training
you.
tips basically.
Yeah, well,
Like
I
training tips or drills. Yeah,
okay, like professional tips, I can just say that try to keep your head straight up. If you keep moving your head, then you might go like that in the pool. Like you
yeah,
won't be able to swim straight. You won't be able to swim in one line. And otherwise, try to keep your hips afloat so that your legs are not sinking. Try to maintain your core. Try to tighten your core and swim. That's, I think,
yeah,
the most
yeah.
basic
Like the
tips that I
basics.
can give.
Yeah, sure. So, uh, how are you keeping yourself fit during lockdown? Like, is the pool open yet for like swimmers, for competitive swimmers?
No, no, no. So the central has allowed the reopening of pools, but the place where I train in Bombay. So the pools are not opened yet. And the last time I had my training session was on March 12th. So I think it's been March. It's been way too long since.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And during lockdown, it was
So,
very difficult though. Sorry, you were saying?
no, yeah, like continue. I was just asking in the follow-up questions regarding this. Like, how are you training yourself now on like for the next competition that will come up after reopening? How are you keeping yourself fit and ready for that?
It's very difficult for swimmers because whatever that I'm doing on land right now will not help me in the pool. I'm just trying to keep myself in shape. I'm trying to maintain my endurance. So this is what I did throughout the lockdown. I trained at home with minimum equipments because everything was shut so suddenly that I didn't have time to buy certain equipments for my training. But I designed my workout in such a manner that my endurance level doesn't drop. And but for swimmers it's very difficult because you can't replicate what you do or do in the water on land. So whatever I do right now is not going to help me in the pool, but yeah, I'm just making sure that I stay fit and I don't put on weight. And yeah.
Yeah. And so, have you developed any new hobbies during this time during quarantine?
uh, yeah, during lockdown actually, as a kid I used to paint. I used to love painting and I used to love reading books. So I think I got back at it. I started painting again, and I started reading books. So I think I couldn't sit down and I couldn't read a book. I was that hyper. And now, actually, during lockdown, I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. And then I started reading a lot of books.
So, what is the last book did you read?
Oh, the last book that I read was gifted to me by a very close friend of mine, Mafia Queens of Mumbai. Yeah, just finished reading
Yeah.
that book yesterday.
Yeah. Should be good.
Yeah,
So,
I love those books.
yeah. So, do you have any pre-race routine? This race.
No.
So you just
No. Yeah, I told you, I'm like a bull. Like, you open the door and I'm like, boom, go in the water, race, and do my best and come back. Actually, I'm a very um, lively person before a race. You know, I love chatting. I'm always with my mom. Whenever she travels with me, of course, she travels with me most of the time. So whenever I'm on the deck, I'm always with my mom. I'm talking, I'm listening to music. So I'm very chilled out. Like, I try to not think too much about my race because then I end up screwing up my race big time. I only think about it when I'm standing behind the blocks, when I'm ready to jump in. So yeah, otherwise I'm very chill. I'm like a normal person, very chilled out person.
a normal person. Anyway, so when in the pool while swimming,
While racing or while
while
training?
racing, while racing.
Oh, while racing, it's just blank, you know. I'm not thinking about anything. Like, of course, when I swim backstroke, I can only see the sky. So I there's absolutely there are no thoughts in my head. All I keep telling myself is, come on, push harder. You can do this. You can do this. And those are the only words I can hear. And sometimes I can hear the crowd cheering. That's about it. Otherwise, no thoughts. But when I'm training, I sing a lot of songs in my head.
Which kind of songs? Like, what do you like? Who do you hear?
Sometimes I don't know. I listen to pop. Sometimes I listen to. Uh, Depends. Like, I like. There's not one particular artist that I listen to. Like, random songs. Like, if I'm listening to this one song while coming to training, then if it's stuck in my head, then I'll sing that song in my head for the next 2 hours while swimming. Very irritating.
Yeah. So yeah, let me check YouTube live chat if there are any more questions. Right. Uh, what to compete among equal? So basically, what were your you make during say international games?
Oh, international races. Yeah, it's actually very, whenever I race abroad, it's very intimidating to have to race against other international athletes, you know. It's different. It feels different. Um, Sometimes I feel like I don't belong there because, of course, but then I see the pool and then I'm like, okay, that's exactly where I belong. It's very intimidating, and otherwise, yeah, no such strategy. If I'm swimming a 200 backstroke, then yeah, I might calculate my time. I might discuss that with my coach, but apart from that, there are no strategies. If I have to work on something, then my coach will let me know that, okay, this was the mistake that you made last time. Make sure it doesn't happen again. So these are the little things that we speak about.
Another one, like, have you done sea swimming?
Yeah. In 2009, I did a 5 kilometer sea swimming. Uh, it was scary, you know. I'd got bites from jellyfish bites, and my arms were a little swollen. Like, they were swollen for the next couple of hours. So I think that's what I remember from my sea swimming. I think I came fifth. I finished fifth. Yeah.
So, and you were just 9 at that time, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just 9. Yeah, it was under 16 category. The age category was under 16.
And I think there is one more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it necessary to start early for successful sports career?
Um, yeah, I would say that it's good if you start early. I mean, but not that early that you get drained out later on. You know, I think 7, 8 is a perfect age to start with any sports.
And oh, so someone is asking, what is your diet routine? Can you tell us about the diet you take? Is there
The
some like calorie counting?
supplements, you mean? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
No, diet. Yeah, wait. Like he has asked, can you tell us about your diet?
Oh, my diet. Okay. Yeah, I don't. I do follow a diet, but not a strict diet. I don't weigh what I eat. Um, but oh yeah, recently, actually, I've turned vegan. It's been 2 weeks since I turned vegan. So now no milk products. Instead of milk, I have almond milk, and apart from that, I prefer home cooked meals. I avoid eating bahar ka khana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So, so do you take any nutrient like extra supplements? Because like I know, like I don't know much about vegan diet, but like the animal proteins are important, right?
It is, it is. It's very, like, I don't know how long I'll be able to function like this, but I really hope that I can once my swimming starts. But yeah, I'm going to be a little flexible when it comes to supplements, because as it is, I'm not having any animal products. So I'll stick to my protein shake post swim and multivitamins. That's it. Let's see how far I can go with this diet.
Yeah. So we are coming to an end, and I can't see any more questions. Yeah. So what are your future goals? Like, what do you plan doing?
So I graduated 3 months ago. I finished my college, and the plan was to well, Corona ruined everything, but nonetheless, I'm gonna swim for the next 2 3 years. Hopeful to qualify for the upcoming Commonwealth Games, Asian Games, and then think about my further studies, what I want to study next, because I really love studying and I don't want to miss out on my academics. So there are a couple of ideas, options in my head. So I'm gonna see how viable they are. I might study law, either law or sports science or something in the animal welfare industry. So I'm really
Oh,
confused right now.
yeah, animal welfare. Yeah, I was following you in the Instagram, and you do some animal welfare, right? Like you feed the stray dogs. Like, do you volunteer for any organization?
No, I don't actually. During lockdown, I'd come across a wounded dog, and of course, it was there were no doctors available. I tried calling the BMC. I tried calling other government veterinary hospitals, but nobody picked up. And then finally, my neighbor uh, gave me a number of this person, and he said that he'll come and treat the dog. So I called him up, and then he's his friend of we became really good friends later on, and then I used to go with him to treat the dog, and then he took me to this one spot where there are a lot of dogs for feeding, and it was in the outskirts, so naturally, so that's how we started feeding the dogs, how I tagged along with him, and then I, I was very much inclined towards really loved what he does for the animal welfare, so that's how I was
That's
motivated.
yeah. So I think we have come to an end. So we will be cheering for you for your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks
Thank
a
you for
lot.
yeah.
It was lovely talking to you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. It was amazing meeting you too. Like I had a okay. So I think
Yes.